especially singing that song, and I like that version, but I love this soft version of it too, and it touches my heart. About a couple weeks ago, I think it was, where we announced that we only had a couple more months of services left, that we would be ending on November 17th, and after that, I had a lot of people come up and we were talking, and in some of the classes, I asked, what is it that you'll miss the most about Common Ground? And hands down, it was the messages that people are going to miss the most. It's about, understanding it and hearing the messages. And so I went back before I did this talk, and I looked at all the different messages that we've done in the last 15 years, the things that we talked about. And I looked through what the content was, and I realized that they were all universal truths, right? They're the truths that run through all of the religions. Simple truths, like forgiveness, like love, like, acceptance, joy. We talked about that for many, many years. Perseverance, resilience. And I thought, well, that's why people come here. They want to hear the simple truths about what makes life better, how they can be happy, how they can live a more meaningful and deep life. And so I kind of thought about that, and I realized that you know everything, right? It's good to hear it from the platform, but there isn't anything that you don't know that we have said from the platform for 15 years. You know it. What is important now is that we are willing to live it, that we're willing to be able to share it, to live it, to be with it. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, is that none of the stuff works. Forgiveness doesn't work. Acceptance in your life doesn't work. Resilience doesn't work until you're willing to make the choice to do it. And I think that's what's important. I had to look back at the things that I said. That's what's important, is that we all, when we close the doors, and we hope to come back together, but I want you to remember that you got to be willing to do the work, right? You got to be willing. All of us do. Willingness, I looked it up. It's a state of being prepared to do something. It's not only to do something, you have to be prepared to be something. That's even more important. What do you want to be in your life? 15 years of doing something and hearing about it and stuff is great, but until you're willing to really put it to practice, it won't do any good. It's like exercise or eating right, anything like that. You got to keep practicing and practicing every day. And when you fall off the wagon, you get up and you exercise again, or you eat right after you've had a Cheeto. Right? Then you say, oh, okay, I'm going to eat healthier tomorrow or today. You just make a decision. You make a choice. And so that's what I want to talk about, willingness. Bottom line, you already know everything. You could never hear another word from us, but the main thing is you've got to do it now. You've got to live it. So I want to talk about the 4 willings. They're the willings, I think, that are important in life, at least for me. There's a lot of them, and they're on your brochure here that we handed out. But the ones that I want to talk about today is, are you willing to make the choice? To make the choice not to be a victim in your life to circumstances, and then to work and to live the vows that you want to live. Basically, to be the person that you want to be. That's important. You got to make the choice to be the person you want to be. You can't just hear about it. You've got to decide how you want to be every day. How you want to be and really what you want to do. Number 2, are you willing? Are you willing to let go of what isn't serving you right now to make room for what does serve you? Number 3 will be, are you willing to use what you're given, that means your life right now as it is, to transform yourself? That means your life circumstances, so whatever's going on in your life, to be able to use that as a jumping board off of for your transformation. Really important. And the last one, really important. Are you willing to open up to the idea of trusting something bigger than just you right now that supports your evolution? Is there something in your life that supports this idea of evolution in you? That means supports the better angels of you. and trust that our intentions come from the heart, that we open it up and these intentions come from this something bigger, you know? And it's like we have to do this stuff, you guys. If we want a life of inner peace and we say that, we say we want a meaningful life, we want a deep life, then we have to find ways to live that. We have to find ways that we find our inner peace. So, that's what I'm going to talk about, the first one. Are you willing to decide or choose how you want to live and what kind of human that you want to be? For me, I want a deep, I want an inspiring, and I want a healthy life. And I know most of you do too. You know, I want to not just let life inspire me, but I want to go out and find what inspires me in life. I want to look at nature. I want to see the sunsets. I want to see the beaches. I want to see the babies. I want to live my life in wonder. I want to live it in curiosity. I'm a curious person, and I want to read. I want to know about stuff. I want to be grateful. I want to be involved in life and not let life happen while I'm sitting back. And I want to be relevant. I looked at the word relevant because I kind of thought that was interesting. And I remember hearing Deepak Chopra's son saying about Deepak, he wants to be relevant. I went, well, what does that mean, being relevant? And it means closely connected to what's going on. And I think that's important, especially as we get older and we age a little bit. We need to be connected to what's going on and be involved in it, to the things that matter to you. Whether it's politics or not, we stayed away from politics. It's important to me. That's all I can say. And it's important to do what you need to do in a beautiful and a kind way. I want to choose meaning in my life. I want to choose love in my life. And the next willing, which I want to talk about, is the second willing. It's, are you willing to let go or to face what is not serving you to make room for what is? Okay? The truth is that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't serve us. And the first thing is our thoughts and our fears that are in our head. And I want to repeat this number, and I hope you never forget it, is that we think between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of those thoughts are negative thoughts, and 95% are the same thoughts. The same thoughts every day. And we wonder why we aren't happy sometimes. 80% are negative. See, are we willing to work on that? Doesn't mean we're going to let them all go, but are we willing to face them, face what we're thinking, let it go, and then make space for something that does serve you, like being with the life you want to live. How is it you want to live? You got to know what you want to live, and then you got to let go of what's stopping you from living that life. You know, the truth is that we carry around these unhappy scenes in our life over and over and over, just like they're still happening today. How many times have you thought about what happened 20, 30 years ago? And it goes on and on and on. We play the same record over and over. And what I know is that these negative thoughts attack our capacity to be healthy, to love, and to be happy. See, what I know is who we want to be, well, is your state of mind, you guys. Your state of mind is way more important than what you're doing. Your state of mind is what creates your life. So when our vow is to maintain a sense of wholeness, no matter what the day throws at us, we won't become a victim to our lives. If you have fears in your life, it's not about just letting go of the fear, it's about facing that fear and letting it dissolve. Judy used to do a talk that I loved on facing everything, avoiding nothing. Wow, that's a big one. A lot of us don't want to face what's going on, but being able to face it with curiosity, with intentions, loving intentions, it doesn't seem so scary anymore. It doesn't seem so scary anymore. So, are you willing to practice, to let go, to face everything, to let go of what isn't serving you, to make room for what is? The third willing. Are you willing to use what has been given you to transform? What that means to me is that, are we willing to start right where we are, whatever you're dealing with in your life, whether it's a pain in your elbow, right today, whether it's anything, you know, whether it's something somebody said to you, start right where you are. If you're grateful, start there. Use that whatever happens, because life is one big teaching moment. Every day, every moment, every relationship is a teaching moment for us to become better and better and better, you know? Doesn't mean that when something terrible happens, you know, that we don't, you know, we resist it, we accept it, and then we move on to do something about it. You know, that's how we transform the darkness. There's this song, I don't know if you guys know who Leonard Cohen is. Does anybody? Oh my God, I love him. I just love him. And I hadn't heard him for a while, and I finally downloaded him on my playlist. Yes, I have a playlist now, and I love it, and I play all these awesome songs of old time I used to listen to. And he has one called Anthem. And what he says in it, he's got that real gruffy voice, you know, it's ring the bell that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack. There's a crack in everything, but that's how the light gets in. And that's what I'm talking about today. We all have stuff. We all have a beingness that is cracked somehow. But that's where the light gets in. That's how we transform to be the people we want to be. That's how our life becomes more meaningful. That's how our life is deeper, when we can know the truth, that it's okay. It's okay to feel broken. It's okay to feel broken. But it's not okay to stay there. That we take that brokenness and we transform ourselves and we shine the light on it. You know, we shine the light on it. And then the fourth willing, the last one. Are you willing to open to the idea of trusting something bigger that supports your evolution? That's the biggest thing. That's of all the willings, that's the biggest one. Are you willing to believe that you are not doing it alone? And that the universe, God, whatever you call this force, I call it love, that it has your back, always. It has your back. You know, and I always think about it like this, and I don't know when I started thinking this way. I think it was after I read Greg Braden's book, and he was talking about the universe being this giant matrix. And I always thought about it like a house that is plugged in. You're in a house, and it's like it's wired for electricity. The universe is wired for electricity. And we're all lamps, but we're not plugged in. Right? We're not plugged in. So what I'm saying, are you willing to plug in? Are you willing to plug into the divine universe? Are you willing to plug into God so that you can be lifted in your life? Because as Judy says, not Judy, the Bible said it, but you've said it, same thing, okay? But you know, as you're lifted, you lift others, right? Say it, what is it? As you. Okay, as I'm lifted, I lift others. And that's what I'm talking about. When we're plugged in, we lift others. We are there for other people. I love that. I love that. You can plug in. That's all we need to do through meditation, through prayer, through mindfulness. You know, we plug in and we live this life that we're not alone. There's a warm presence. Maybe it's cool to you. It's a warm to me. It's a presence that's always with us, that guides us. You know, not a person. It's just an energy that says, here, I'm not alone. You aren't alone in this life. It helps us align with spirit. You know, it helps us align with each other. You know, and it helps us act on this energy that we know that the universe is supporting us. And it's our heart. See, what I'm talking about is getting out of our heads and dropping to our hearts. You know, and plugging in so that we can live the miracles that we're supposed to live. See, love, I believe, is our natural state of being. That's one of the messages I hope that you take away from you. Love is your natural state of being, and it's covered up with a bunch of junk. But love is your natural state of being, you know, and that there's a greater plan than your own, right? We're plugged into each other too. On the mind level, on the level of the heart, we are so connected. We are so connected. So, and what I know is that every single relationship is an assignment. Every single relationship, I know you, I know you, I know you, you know me. It's some kind of divine relationship. So important that you remember this, you know? And when we forget, you choose again. You choose again. And I forget almost daily, almost hourly. But I choose again, I choose again. This is not a random universe. This is not a random universe. You are here through divine assignment. So I ask you, are you willing to open to the idea of trusting something bigger, call it whatever you will, that supports our evolution? See, the truth is that being willing, knowing everything is one thing, but being willing to implement it, being willing to really do it, to really live it, is where your journey starts, where your journey of living the vows that you have really, really starts. So, as we leave today, actually we're not going to leave, we're going to stay here because we're going to play bingo. But as we do, as I close this, I'm going to ask you to repeat after me like you really mean it, okay? I want to hear your voices. Shout out. I am willing.